2 before the game. Please make our special guest tonight feel very welcome from the Collingwood Footy Club, Steele Sidebottom, everybody.
Steele, bad luck about last night. Not your fault, no doubt about that. You're a big game player and you almost won the Norm Smith medal last year and you had a great game last night. But I want to look at your first kick from last night. Basically, the kick went on the full, but I want to look at your finger pointing, all right? The kick's on the full. Look at you point here. Who are you pointing at? Are you telling Lee Brown he should have been in the first row to catch that?
He was leading, originally at the start, but, I wanted to kick a bit longer, but, he didn't give me much, so...
So because he didn't give you much, you decided to punish him by kicking the ball out in the full, did you?
Yeah, well, he hasn't got a chance to kick a goal when they've got the footy, so...
Very fine point. Tim, in case you missed the scores from the MCG last night, 81,000 plus turned up. Terribly difficult conditions through a game of footy. Geelong sprayed it all over the place in the first quarter. But in the end, it was their familiar names that got the job done, Sam.
Well, it's very good that it didn't keep the fans away, Andy, the weather. Collingwood supporters will disagree with this, I know, but this result was actually good for the season. We've got hard evidence now that a team that everyone was saying and predicting would be, unbeatable this season is actually fallible. Now, of course, it was just a 3-point margin. It could have been the other way. But Geelong has shown everyone that it is a very, very serious contender. It's adjusted its game this year and it can beat Collingwood. Still, you tell us what you made of the Cats and how they beat you.
Well, I think we played them about this time last year, and I think, we looked back and they'd only had 2 changes to their side from last year, so they're always going to be, as their season's panned out, they haven't lost a game as yet, and so they're still a great side, and I think they'll be up there again, obviously.
Do you think they altered tactics in order to beat you where they were so heavily beaten in the finals last year?
Yeah, I think, their backline, I think, is very strong now. I think the last few years their midfield it's obviously still strong, but, I think they've probably gone a bit more on defence now, and, they were good.
They kicked longer too. They kicked a bit more, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think they did. They used to handball a fair bit, but, got it on boot.
Interesting.
It's the biggest game of the season. One place 2, all undefeated. There was so much tension there, a big build-up, a massive crowd. 2 Titans go to war. There was always going to be a bit of bad blood, which boiled over at half-time. We're going to show you some quite shocking scenes now between Dale Thomas and Steve Johnson. It's amazing this didn't blow up. What? Hang on. No. Oi. Now, that's the type of thing the AFL have to stamp out. That's sending a terrible message to the kids.
Did that nearly turn into a melee?
I don't know. I didn't even see it the first time.
There's always a controversial moment in a tight game, I think, and especially when it's such a big stage like this. The one everyone's talking about is this moment, 3 minutes left in the game. Now, Scott Pendlebury plays on after Cameron Wood is awarded a free kick. Now, Scott Pendlebury kicks a goal there. It would have put you 4 points up. But the ball was called back and he, in fact, wasn't given that advantage rule. Yeah. Is that just a plain wrong decision?
I think if you look back on it, probably was the wrong decision. But
well, it's a $5,000 fine right there.
Dave will pay it for you, though.
The mindset of players nowadays, you were just on the outside of that pack. You were sort of approaching. Would you have done the same thing that Scott did? Would you have had the ball fallen at your feet? Would you have taken the advantage of playing on if it came to you?
I'm not sure. I think late stage in the game, if you're not confident in it, you do want to stop and give it back. So I think it's pretty much a spur of the moment thing. And Pendle thought he should go, and he did.
Yep.
And Mick Malthouse questioned it afterwards. I think everyone will agree on Monday when everyone reviews it officially that it was just a wrong decision.
Hey, Steele, you didn't get the Chockies last night, but I think I have to say this. I think we have to admire Collingwood and their ability to be involved in big games and to draw a crowd. Did you know 70,000 members this week, was it? Which is an amazing number. Mind you, I think you're starting to get to the bottom of the barrel. Have a look at this bloke who turned up. This might be your #1 ticket holder here. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that balaclava comes with a membership package. I really do. So, anyway, actually, congratulations.
I went to the VFL today and I seen Phil there. He's a big fan, and he's last night he must have stitched the Collingwood emblem up the top of it now. So.
And by the way, he's here tonight, so please make him welcome. Yeah, he's sitting in our crowd.
Good to see you. After the game, Mick said that you were crusty and all the rest. Did you feel like you went into the game a bit crusty or a bit flat? Like was there something not quite Collingwood-esque about the performance last night?
Are you showering enough?
No, I don't
Was it
think
the bye?
so.
Was it the bye?
No, I don't think we'll blame the bye. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we're pretty fresh going into it. I just think Geelong were the better side on the night, and probably just shows that we've obviously still got improvement. But credit to Geelong, they were good last night.
Need to ask you about one of your teammates, Alan Tuvey, and sometimes players I think can have almost a silly amount of courage. I mean, you can't. I mean, this is just extraordinary, actually, what Alan Tuvey decided to do. Putting your body on the line to that extent when you're running into Tom Hawkins's big frame. I mean, it's quite frightening. And these scenes no one likes to see. The report from the club today is that Alan is okay. It's quite a miracle that he doesn't have any facial fractures, but he's in the Epworth Hospital and will remain there for the weekend. Just to be observed.
Well, he must have been great then, obviously.
I heard today that he's got bruising on his chest. So, he'll spend the weekend in hospital, and I'm not sure how long he'll miss, but
Did you see him after the game?
No, he went to hospital at three-quarter time last night. So
we can actually have a look at him now because the wonders of Twitter allow us to see this. Tyson Goldsack put that up on the net today. I mean, at least he's got a smile.
He's amazingly courageous, though. But was there someone else responsible for what happened last night?
There was. Maxie sent around a text after the game, just letting everyone know how Twos was, and Heath was talking to the boys, and he just sent a text back to Twos saying sorry because Heath was telling him as he was going, you've got to go, you've got to go. He's been smashed. Yeah, he's sure. Yeah, so he probably feels a bit bad. But.
He's sure called him into the contest. Nice work. And we saw another ugly incident last week, Brisbane Gold Coast game. Andrew Rains goes down here and he's in real bad nick, and just ridiculous scenes here where they didn't stretch him off, they've walked him off the ground. Yeah. It was honestly just ridiculous, and Andrew Rains has really been struggling this week to recover. Here he is during the week, going to the ATM, just still not in awesome nick there at all. It doesn't make it any easier when guys like Lee Montagna are running around as well. Just give me one for his troubles there. Really irresponsible stuff.
We're going to take a break here on Before the Game. Steele Sidebottom is going to stick around. When we come back, Yuzi and the Tool of the Week. Three-quarter time, there's the finger that no Collingwood player ever wants to see, and it was directed at our guest tonight, Steele Sidebottom. This was round 6 against the Western Bulldogs at three-quarter time. What's the legendary man saying to you, Steele?
He's actually telling me well done.
Was he?
No, not really. No, there was probably about 2 minutes to go, and I took a mark and should have went back, iced the clock a bit. I tried to play on and pretty much handballed it out of bounds. And
you didn't handball it to a seagull that night, did you?
No, I probably should have. I would have had more chance to get the ball. But
Steele, Mick Malthouse is in career best form as a coach. Do you, though, sometimes struggle to understand what he's actually banging on about? Does that ever occur to you?
No, I'll say no.
Okay, can you explain what this means?
Running from the ground to the coach's box is a piece of bread. 3 weeks ago, it looked like someone had lost an ear. Today, it looked like someone lost a finger. That's it. The bread's still there. It's still up on the brush our or sweep our stairs internally.
I think he's having a senior moment there. I really do. What is that? Can you analyse that for me?
I've got no idea.
But for the oldest coach in the league, he does, by all reports, have a real rapport with young players.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to say anything bad. Mick's good. He's good with the young guys. And I think one of the main things is Mick, when you do get to the club, he sort of says, your birth certificate's thrown out the window, so if you perform, you're going to get a game, and that's pretty much it.
I think he's thrown his certificate out the window.
We certainly love him here still. Now it's time for our favourite segment on the show. It's the Home Hardware.
Well, I love the Adelaide Crows personally, and I love Ben Rutten, who's their great full back. And you know what he's great at? He's great at clearances, yeah? He's great at clearances on the field, but is he good at clearances during press conferences? This is from during the week.
Here, look, I watched a bit of the game against Brisbane.
Spit it out, Benny. You're hurting us all. That's why you are the tool of the week. Home Harbour, your proper hardware store. You win the works drill. It's an absolute ripper.
A break, Steele Sidebottom to stick around. More to come. Welcome back to the show. We love the footy record, Lumo. You love it.
Right there, get on board. There is the footy record, and this week it is umpire appreciation round to get behind the umpires this round.
No, we need it.
booing,
No,
please,
no, they
booing.
do a fantastic job. Steele Sidebottom, our special guest. Such an even list, such a talent. Who's the best player at Collingwood?
I think Swanee is.
Swanee's
for
best
us,
player.
Yeah.
Mate, thanks for coming in tonight. Great to have you part of this. Steele Sidebottom, our special guest. The footy's up next. See you later.